Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Bismillah, walhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi al-faizina birillahi ta'ala ma ba'd. Respected dignitaries, dear colleagues and fellow seekers of knowledge, it's a very honor to stand in front of you to discuss profound and often misunderstood aspects of Islamic teachings, prohibition of slavery and pragmatic approaches of Islam. Slavery is a dark chapter in the history of humankind. It has existed in various forms for centuries across different cultures and religions. I am here to shed light on the Islamic approaches and how the religion laid the groundwork for the gradual abolition of slavery. Before getting to the subject, let's first of all, we want to understand what was the context of the pre-Islamic Arabia. Actually, in pre-Islamic Arabia, the slaves were considered as property they bought and sold and acquired through war and piracy, etc. They were deprived from the basic human rights. At that time, Islam did not instantly eliminate the system of slavery, because it makes unrealistic expectations among the peoples and in society. So Islam introduced reforms aimed at improvement of the slaves and slowly dismantling the institutions. Islam emphasized the inherent dignity of every human being. Allah stated through the Quran in the Surah Al-Mujadala, "We have created from male and female, and we made you different tribes and peoples to know each other. And the noble of you in the sight of Allah is the most righteous person." Through this ayah, Islam elevates the power of every human being and dignity of slaves. Moreover, Islam prohibited ill treatment to every human being, ill treatment to the slaves. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam teaches, "Hum ikhwanukum ja'alahumullahu tahta aydikum fa'at'imuhum mimma ta'kulun wa talbisuhum mimma talbisun." They are your slaves, are your brothers. Feed them what you eat and clothe them what you wear. The companion of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam come to the Medina, Mr. Abu Dharr al-Ghifari, with his slaves, that he clothed his slaves with the same dress that he wear. That was the radical departure from the oppression system of that prevailed in that situation. Islam granted lot of rights to the slaves, including right to marriage, right to seek compensation from their works, right to engage in tribes, business, etc. Moreover, Islam encourages every human beings to freeing in slaves, because it makes you connection with the God. Through the Quran, Allah states that fakku raqabah wa ma adraka mal aqaba fakku raqabah. You free the slaves, then it makes you atonement from the every types of sins. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam set an example by freeing a lot of slaves in his lifetime itself. Bilal ibn Rabah is one of them. Moreover, the concept of mukataba, we have no. The concept of mukataba, the slaves can gain their freedom by an agreement and paying the amount, specific amount to their owners. Quran state, "Fakatibuhum in alimtum fihim khaira." Through that, Islam opens a vast drainage to every human being, to every slaves, to get free from the such like of clutches of someone's. Through that, Islam teaches the value of slaves like every human being itself. Moreover, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam teaches, if you teach your slave manners and teach knowledge and marry you, the God will reward you to reward. The God will gift you two rewards. At that time, first of all, we want to understand what was the situation of the pre-Islamic Arabia. At that time was Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam preaches about the importance of the slaves, and first of you want to consider them as your brothers. That's the Islam, that's the concept of Islam in the slaves. So let's move to the questionnaire.
During the Prophet's era, the Arab world had a monopoly on alcohol, which Islam completely prohibited. However, Islam did not entirely forbid slavery. How can the non-prohibition of slavery in that historical context be justified?
Beg your pardon, just once more.
During the Prophet's era, the Arab world had a monopoly on alcohol, which Islam completely prohibited. However, Islam did not entirely forbid slavery. How can the non-prohibition
Okay. Actually, I have mentioned in my subject that at that time Islam did not prohibit the slavery because it makes unrealistic expectation among the peoples and among the societies, because they have seen the slaves as their property. At that time, Islam teaches the importance of the human being and humane concept. Then Islam teaches hum ikhwanukum. I have already mentioned in that. Okay, let's move to next.
Islam doesn't encourage the slavery in all form, but it's after the war, Islam give the option to the commander to select between the slave or not. So this is what had happened, exactly happened in Iraq, because when the ISIS captured different territories, they made the women in their territories as slaves, and they also argued that these women were the gifts from Allah, because Allah gave us the right to select as a slave. So how do you justify the slavery of the ISIS in this modern era?
Actually, the question was wrong because we cannot compare the Islamic slavery system with the ISIS. In the concept of the Islam, ISIS is not exact the version of Islam. So we cannot compare the views of Islam or the views of slavery in the Sharia according to the slaves. Moreover, in the ISIS we could see a lot of a lot of soldiers are selecting the women from the rest of the countries. Actually, it's prohibited. It's not. We cannot compare it to the concept of the religion. Is the
Islam is not allowing slavery to testify, is part of social alienation of them. How can this be justified?
Actually, Islam didn't alienate them from the mainstream of peoples. When they feel alienated at that time, Islam bring them to the mainstream of the society and give importance what they want. If you have a soul, sorry, if you have a slave, you want to treat them at most what you feel in your life. You have a wife, then try to marry them. If they have the way to gain money and give the everything to that woman, so first of all you want to try to marry them like you, it's like our itself. Okay.
I have a doubt that we can understand that slavery has its own benefits also. If it's not slavery, there won't be any other proper way for handling these captives of the law. Then why should we connect Islam and the prohibition of slavery? Prohibition of the slavery.
Once more.
We know that slavery has its own benefit, but if not, it's not slavery, there won't be any other proper way for handling the captives of the law. Then why should we connect Islam and the prohibition of slavery?
Actually, when we see the concept of the rest of the peoples, not Muslims, or not Sunnis. When we look from the society, from the other peoples, will evaluate the Islam. Why Islam give the much importance or give such importance to the slavery? Why couldn't Islam did not prohibited completely the system of slavery? They will think like that. So Islam, moreover, there is no any way at that time to keep the slaves under the Islam or under the Islamic country. When we get free at that time itself, they will came again and rewar with us. So we have no any other options. When we are studying the history of Islam, we could see Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam enslaved through the war and acquired a lot of slaves through the war. And Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam advised them: you teach knowledge, you teach language to the Sahabas, then you can go free. That's the concept. That's the exact concept of the Islam. We are not we are not compelling or oppressing the slaves. Then we are giving opportunities. We are giving a lot of drainages to free through the concept of Islam itself. Okay, thank you to all. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.